Kacau.
And apa khabar semua? We are your video game best friends. My name is Calvin Tay.
And I'm Afiq K.
And on This Week in Gaming, we have a whole list of news for you guys, starting off with the Steam Deck's price hike, the end of Destiny 3 or just Destiny altogether, Forza Horizon, something that you've been playing. There have been a very interesting news that I believe you want to break down here on how Forza is actually cannibalizing
itself.
Right? And actually, there's one more news that is kind of like businessy that I want to talk to you about, which is number 3. HoYoverse to invest up to $14.6 billion in AI for in-house tools. This is going to be a very interesting conversation of just me and Afiq breaking things down for you. So, yeah, stay tuned. After this break, we'll be talking about all of this and more.
Stay here. Don't go. Yo, man.
So, a Steam Deck, right? This is a very interesting news because I remember when I bought the Steam Deck and I told you that, you know, my girlfriend was like, she don't understand why I have a Steam Deck. And usually when you talk about like handheld game devices, it's more often than not when you don't need it, it's just in your closet collecting dust. And I told you this thing specifically. I like the idea of owning it. Because I know whenever I need it, it's there. And I own it so I can use it.
The potential of gaming anywhere.
Correct, right? So I'm glad I bought it back then because if I'm not mistaken, I bought it from M4G. Shout out M4G. I bought it at around 25 ringgit. And I'm glad I bought it then because
I think I remember that day.
The first headline that we have today is the Steam Deck's price has increased from $549 to $789.
God, dude.
And I did a bit of math. I did a bit of calculation.
What's the math?
Basically, I just chucked it into like Gemini just to do the basic math for me. The price hike is up by 43%.
Shit.
Right? Because initially, the original 512 Steam Deck model is $549. Right now is $789. That is a 43% price hike. And if we're just talking about generally ringgit prices, right? Right now, if you go on Shopee, the 512GB model is selling at 3,196 ringgit.
Yours is the 512?
Mine is the 1TB. I got
Yours is the 1TB and you got it for 2.5?
I got it for about 2.5.
Fuck me, man.
So this price that I just mentioned on Shopee, right, is not included in that 43% price hike because we're talking about this is before the price hike. So if we're talking about the 43% price hike, let's just base it at like the 40%, right? Dude, can you imagine how much it's gonna cost in ringgit? Like 4K, 5K?
So 1 terabyte is 949, right? 949 after the price hike. Yeah, that's about 3.7K.
Yeah, so if you include like the import costs and then the agency cost of the stores,
about 4 something.
About 4-5.
Yeah.
Hence why this is me telling you, if you feel like buying something and you don't really have a need for it, just go out and buy it, man.
Or just buy it now, you mean? Just buy it now before the price goes up?
Because
the same can be said for RAM before the price hike. The same can be said for GPU before the AI boom.
Dude, it's madness, man.
And you remember COVID? Remember PC prices in COVID?
Correct.
Was chef's kiss, bro.
Yeah,
I regret not upgrading.
But too bad we were broke back then.
Yeah, too bad we were broke.
Right.
I regret so much not upgrading because at that point in time, right, the 1070 Ti for the games that were coming out then, we're talking about 2020, 2021, 2022. It's a formidable GPU. So I focused a lot of my upgrades on, back then I wanted to stream, right?
Right.
So I upgraded hardware, I upgraded my interface, the camera and all that. What I should have, looking back now in retrospect, what I should have upgraded was the PC components to prepare it for 2026. But then you wouldn't have thought about these things back then. You know what I mean? So, but listening to this Steam Deck price hike, right? This is what I feel about it. With the release of Steam Machine, Steam Frame, what else? Steam Controller. People were hyped.
Dude, the Steam Controller now, like, it's unavailable in Malaysia, but I've been dying to get my hands on it. Side note on the Steam Controller, people online, especially on our Steam Deck, has been reporting that it is not the most ergonomic controller.
It's bulky.
It's bulky, right? But I want to get it.
I think it comes down to like hand size
Yeah.
and all that. So it's very hard to measure. But anyway, there was so much hype around these new devices that are coming out, right? And I think at this point, Steam feels like they're on top of the world.
Yep.
And they're so confident. It's like it's not a monopoly, but it's like pseudo monopoly because you
Correct.
know there's no other company out there that's making these devices that have as much hype. So when this hype takes place, right, and you know people want your shit,
Yep.
you just up the price.
And you also know that Valve is a household name.
Yeah.
And they don't F around when it comes to making hardware. Because whenever they make a hardware, it's always, more often than not, it's the best of the best. But also more often than not, it's usually way ahead of its time.
Yes.
Right? So
People are not ready for it.
Yeah, I am looking forward to actually seeing the Steam PC, for example, or the Steam controller, for example, in Malaysia. But after reading this news, I'm actually not excited for the price point because in the article itself, it says here, and I'm just paraphrasing, right? For a long time, Valve Steam Deck has been a fantastic option for people who wanted to get into PC gaming but didn't want to pay current PC gaming prices, which is exactly what we talked about.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it was a little too fantastic as we begin to see supply dry up worldwide. When we're talking about supply here, I'm going to run on the assumption that it's probably just RAM prices and just hardware prices because of the ongoing war and the shortages worldwide, right?
Yeah.
With Valve informing us that it was fighting to secure more hardware.
Yeah. No, it at the end of the day, the price hike feels like Steam naik kepala already. Like the hype, the hype naik kepala went to their heads, and now they're like, fuck, whatever price we put, people are gonna buy anyway.
But I also
let's
feel
put
like
it at 7, 8.
I also feel like that there really is a supply demand issue here whenever it comes to gaming hardware because the biggest RAM creator in the world just says like, hey, we're kind of giving up on consumer RAMs and we're just gonna go on full on industrial AI RAM prices, right?
Yeah.
So the supply and demand issue is really there. But I also feel like they have announced it, the hype was there, and they're just like, okay, we know we can't satisfy all of our customer, so we're just going to put out a price that we feel like it's fair to us, not only making it, creating it, and R&D inventing it, but we also want people to enjoy it. So regardless, it's like, if you can afford it, you buy it. If not, then you wait.
Yeah. Just before we go to the next thing, right, the last thing I want to say about the Steam thing, and it's not so much Steam, I think it's more of like the PC landscape globally, right? I hate to see it become a status symbol.
Oh yeah.
Like how you own a supercar because you can afford it.
Yep.
Like I don't want to see PCs being only for
like
people of a certain income bracket.
Exclusive for the upper echelon people.
Exactly.
The upper echelon people, right?
That would be very, very disappointing because back 10 years ago, it was the other way around. Consoles were like the thing
like
that
when we were in high school,
symbol.
right? People had like an
Oh, I have a
Xbox or like
PS3.
PS3. Oh, dude, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, and all I have is like a Game Boy or something, right?
And
then
it wasn't
now,
cheap back then also.
Exactly.
It wasn't cheap back then also.
But now it's like if you have a PC, you're rich.
Yeah.
I hate that it's turning into that. So I'm hoping there's a 180 somewhere.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next news, we have a very interesting headline that Afiq has been playing of this game called Forza Horizon 6.
Right.
And the headline says, this game sells 4.9 million copy despite Xbox Game Pass cannibalizing revenue, says Analysts.
Yeah. What that means is, what the article is trying to say, right, is basically there are 4.9 active players in the first week.
Yep.
But a large percentage of those players predictably are playing on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Paying, if in Malaysia, 20 ringgit a month.
Correct. So the article actually broke it down. If they were to sold 4.9 million copies, which is what was reported, right, under a week, this would actually bag them around $325 million. And the headline here was like, that's great news, right? That's a lot of money, and hopefully they are able to recuperate some of the money from development itself. But That's the part, right? Because we also know that
paper
Xbox
only.
Game Pass is cannibalizing its revenue.
Yeah.
Now, you did mention that for us it's about 20 ringgit-ish,
Yeah.
right? Now, out of that 4.9 million people who actually bought the game, another 3 million people just played through Game Pass instead. That is 3 million people not buying the game at full price.
For context, let's calculate the percentage.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got 3 million out of 4.9 million. 61% of your players are playing on Game Pass.
And that is like 61 missed opportunity. But I also feel like that is something of what Xbox is doing now.
Yeah.
Because last episode we talked about how PlayStation has exclusivities.
Yes.
PC also have exclusive. But I feel like Xbox is making that exclusivity a bit more unique in the sense where they encourage you to buy it on Xbox Game Pass, even though they will be making a loss.
Yeah.
Because right now, I feel like their entire business model is just banking on Xbox Game Pass, which is also why you have the game that is priced at about $299 now, $299. And if you go on Reddit, I would say majority of the people who talked about the game is like, I honestly cannot afford that $80 price point because it's ridiculous.
It's expensive.
But I can afford 20 ringgit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can afford 20 ringgit just to play that for a couple of months until I'm satisfied, and then I can just jump on the next big thing, for example.
It's a classic. I mean, even if we zoom out of the gaming industry, right, and we look at like any other industry,
like our Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
That one's stupid. But if like, so you zoom out of gaming industry, and then you zoom even more out of the tech industry, you go into any industry, right? Let's say skincare or something. It's the same thing. Lower your prices, become a loss leader, but gain in volume. But you just have to bank that there's enough people that buy that make up the difference, right? I mean, I am one in the 3 million. I'm playing on Game Pass.
Yep.
Honestly, if there was no Game Pass,
you probably won't be playing it.
No, I wouldn't have started playing it. But now that I've played it, if they ever removed it from Game Pass,
you would actually buy it.
I would buy it.
All right.
Right?
Because you had a taste of it already.
Correct. But here's why I think they put it out day one. Because it was day one. The moment it came out, it was available on Game Pass.
Right.
I was surprised.
Right.
But I think the reason why they made it available day one, right, is in the racing community, the racing community, gaming wise, Forza Horizon 5 wasn't really well received.
Right.
Because a lot of people felt it was too arcadey, the controls were a bit light.
Okay.
And Forza is the race gaming community is very heavy on sim.
Okay.
Right?
SIM, right? Not SIMP, right?
No, not simp. Sim, like sim racing.
Okay.
So everything is compared to whether it's a good sim racer.
Right, okay. Those are for like the hardcore race car, like race car enthusiasts.
Yeah, but it's not even the hardcore community. I think everyone just expects a simulation level experience.
Right.
So when you go into Forza is not the best sim racer. It's simcade. It's a simulation, but it's still arcadey.
Yeah,
the controls are still arcadey. So Forza Horizon 5 wasn't really well received. Towards the end of its life cycle, before Forza Horizon 6, I think there was a dip in player base.
Would you then say Gran Turismo is a better sim?
Gran Turismo 7 is an elite sim racer.
Right, okay. Yeah.
It's comparable to a lot of sim racers.
If you compare Forza to Gran Turismo,
it's two completely different games.
One is more sim-like, the other one is more arcade-like.
Correct. And it's different in the way that you play the game also.
Right.
Technically, Forza is an adventure sandbox.
Yeah, okay, because in this one you have like an open world Japan.
Correct.
And
you drive to wherever and then you do whatever you want.
I wanted to tell you something that I completely forgot.
But before you get there, let me land on my point. So my point was a bit long-winded. But the reason why Forza 6 came out day one, I feel, is because they needed to test the waters again. Forza Horizon 5 had dipped in player base towards the end of its life cycle.
Right.
They needed Forza Horizon 6 to up the player base, and then probably, I don't know, people will start buying the game. But with the way that Forza Horizon 6 has been received, I feel like it's RIP to Game Pass access for Forza Horizon 7. Forza Horizon 7, I think, is going to not be available day one.
Okay.
But anyway,
okay.
the thing that you wanted to tell me.
Just FYI, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at SteamDB right now for Forza 6. The all-time peak 4 days ago, which is 302,000 players.
Wow.
24-hour peak within the past 24 hours, we have 220. Right now, there is 141,000 players
At this moment?
at this moment, right? So that's pretty interesting for a game that just came out for a week, right? But anyways, I wanted to tell you that day I wanted to surprise you with me playing Forza. I went on Xbox and I was like actually telling myself that, you know what, if I were to subscribe 20 ringgit for 1 month and I get to play the game in drifting mode and also the off-road adventure, it will be amazing. Typed in my details and everything, my credit card, everything, blah, blah, blah. Some error came out and I couldn't play it at all. I couldn't subscribe.
What error?
I forgot, but it was basically my card details was not right. And I did it 3 times and all 3 times the same issue came out and I got fed up and I just like...
Was it GX?
No, it was my credit card.
Oh, your credit card.
Yeah, it was my credit card. And I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. I tried my debit card, I tried my credit card, both cannot, and I just assumed that it was a client issue.
It would have been a great surprise.
Yeah, I really wanted to surprise you
It
because
would have been a great surprise.
I was on TikTok and then I saw people playing the off-road adventure and then I found out that there was the drifting thing as well.
Yes.
And I was like, oh man, this would be so fucking great, and I was like, I wanted to just surprise you.
Yeah.
Actually,
I want to show you something.
Yeah. So I just want to tell you that I really
It's
tried.
The thought counts.
And I might do it again, but not right now. But yeah,
I wanted to show you something. I didn't tell you this yesterday. Because I wanted to show you on the episode.
yeah. Come. I don't know how focused this would be, but I'm excited.
I think you need to come by the house.
I'm excited to actually see how.
I think you need to come by the house.
Yeah.
I had this idea yesterday to put up the DJI,
Right.
and then switch on the camera while I play, but I have one problem with it.
Oh man.
There's force feedback, which means it vibrates.
Okay.
Right now I have it clamped to my desk.
Okay.
The whole fucking thing shakes.
Okay.
So now
I think you need to get a couple of Apple boxes.
Apple boxes.
I think you need a separate
I need to get a wheel stand.
Yeah, you actually do need to get a wheel stand. Oh, so there's feedback. So when it vibrates, your whole table.
Correct. So when I go off road,
right,
and the thing is stuck here, right? So it vibrates the entire table, and I have a standing desk.
Yeah, and it's pretty thin also, right?
And it's very thin.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing moves. My speakers move. My monitors move. Because my monitors mounted on the arm.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that is dangerous. That is not the best thing. Okay.
So what I've just been doing was like cruising at like mid-speed.
Right. Okay. Now, moving on to the next news, we have something interesting. Again, this is going to be slightly businessy, but bear with me. And the title goes, right? HoYoverse's, the people behind Genshin Impact and ZZZ, etc., to invest up to 14.6 billion in AI for in-house tools.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in that.
So, this actually broke in Chinese news under this website called www.gamelook.com, .cn.
Or you mean in China?
Yeah, in China, because just so you know, HoYoverse is a Korean company, South Korean, not North Korea. But
they're a Korean company.
yeah, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and basically and became one of the biggest gaming companies in the world because they created some of the best open world game that you can play on not only PC but also mobile. And if you play it on mobile, it's also one of the best experience you can ever get. Now, they have made a lot of money. And the HoYoverse CEO recently announced that the company plans to invest up to $14 billion US. And he said this in the most HoYoverse way possible. His words were even if we fail and get nothing out of it, that is fine. We will treat it like setting off a giant firework. Now, the immediate response where this thing led me to was how many people were fired because of this, $14 billion investment. And there's no news about it online. There's no HoYoverse is retrenching. HoYoverse is removing XYZ numbers of people. I was like, oh, okay. Then I went to Reddit. They have been letting go of a lot of employees.
Oh, very hush-hush.
But it was all hush-hush.
So the people on Reddit are people
if you,
who know lah.
Yeah. So this was...
if you know type situation.
Yep. This was on our Gacha Gaming. And this was announced about a year ago. HoYoverse have been unannounced. HoYoverse has been doing unannounced layoff. So we have people on LinkedIn, saying that my time with HoYoverse have come to an end, made new friends, gained new skill, added global insights, now onwards for better things. And then another post on LinkedIn from a senior recruiter. After an incredible 2.5 years at HoYoverse, I am moving on due to recent layoffs. And then another one on Twitter. It's like, Lamau, so no easy way to say this, but I just got laid off from HoYoverse. And then there's on Glassdoor as well. On Glassdoor, their rating is 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, shit.
Beware of layoff. The pros is you will work with some of the most passionate people and further shape your skills.
Yeah.
HoYoverse is a great stepping stone for your next company. And the cons is because layoffs are happening and it's not being communicated, leaving employees in the dark. So this is HoYoverse Singapore. It's very, very close to home, right?
Shit.
And people online has been saying, they have actually been laying off a lot of team, but we don't have a number that is confirmed.
They don't release the data.
Yeah, but if you really go online and dig, you would actually see people are being laid off left and right. So now my immediate question is like, okay, cool. You are investing $14 billion, and you have also stated that we don't really care if we fail, get nothing out of it, that is fine. We will treat it like setting off a giant fireworks. I have mixed feelings about this because number one is like, if you were to use AI in a video game, because AI, I'm not talking about like things like Claude, things like generative AI, for example, because AI has been in gaming working hand in hand for the longest time for everything, right? Like all the NPCs that we see in GTA 5, those are considered AI, right? But they're not generative AI. They don't come up with like
they have a very
art.
strict parameter.
Correct. They are not like concept art. They are not like script writers. They are not coders, etc. They're just there just to fill up your world to make it look like a very livable virtual world where every part of the city you go into, like GTA, is lived in, for example, right? But they are using it for a lot of different tech. There was a statement here, right? HoYoverse knows their winning formula in games is no longer theirs alone. Other studios have figured out how to make game style, the same style of games. The competition is catching up. So if they want to grow to the next level, games alone are not going to get them there. AI is their play for becoming a proper tech company, not just a game studio. So what I'm getting out of this article is basically like they are doing a lot more with AI. Maybe there's some generative stuff in there, maybe some coding in there, maybe they're just replacing, some redundancy in the work. But what I really want to look at is just how many people will be affected by this. Because investing 14 billion in AI and not in real people kind of hurts a bit as a creative. And I just don't know where they're going this moving forward.
Have you seen the recent interview with Strauss Zelnick, which is the CEO of Take-Two?
Was it along the lines of like spending in AI is more expensive than...
that might be part of the, because it's a really long interview.
Right.
But I'm pointing to a very specific segment in that interview because it reminds me a lot of this this conversation we're having.
Okay.
Basically, the question that was asked to Strauss is, are you doubtful of AI and how receptive are you to AI within this industry?
Right.
And Strauss's response is very, very interesting. And it's also very true. What he says is, let's not forget, this is not word for word.
This is paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing.
Okay.
Let's not forget what AI really is. AI is big data sets, lots of compute, and a large language model mushed together.
Okay.
What that means is AI is fully data backed. Data, by its very nature, is backward looking. There's no data is something that has happened.
Yep.
Creativity is forward looking, which requires a conscious human mind to think
Correct.
of something that's never
Correct.
been thought of before.
Like Star Wars or like
Correct.
Aliens or like Predators, for example.
Correct. And then he also goes on to say AI in the gaming industry is here's one way to sort of put it together, right? So data is backwards looking, creativity is forward looking. What this means is the technology, even before AI, the technology to make games, to make good games have been there. Or to make copies of different games have been there.
Right.
Like someone could have made a clone of GTA. And even now they can, and quicker with AI, but it will never be GTA, right? That's an example. What he means to say is you can make games with AI, but you can't make hits because hits, by their very nature, must be unexpected.
Yep.
And anything that is data driven can never be unexpected because whatever data that you use is already in the past. Right? So this points to a very important partnership that needs to be established between AI and people. And the harmony between AI and people is so important because you need the human mind to think forward, but you need the efficiency of AI to do it in the quickest way possible. So when there's news about companies like HoYoverse adopting AI, but then laying off people, I'm trying to understand then, what are you playing at? Because if you're trying to think of ways to live in the future and think about things that are in the future, AI is not that.
Yep.
Because you need to look backwards for AI.
Yep.
So that's a really interesting part of the interview with Strauss Zelnick that I really like.
But on my end, I'm a bit iffy about the whole thing.
Yeah,
because $14 billion is reinvestment into your people, better salary, better upskilling, and so many other things that you can play with. This is basically saying that, hey, we have fuck you money. We don't know what to do with it. I don't think you guys deserve a raise. So we're just going to throw it into AI and treat it like setting off a giant firework.
If it doesn't work.
Yeah, if it doesn't work.
If it doesn't work, we
Yeah.
just set up a giant
So
firework.
I'm really honestly 50-50 about the whole thing. But right now, they are basically a company so huge that your opinions honestly don't matter. Unless you tell me miraculously tomorrow, all like, I don't know, just ballpark number of like 1 billion people collectively uninstall all of their games on their devices altogether, then that's basically the people or the community telling you, fuck you, we don't agree. But I honestly don't see that.
Never ever gonna happen.
I honestly don't see this happening. But
that's like an ideal world that would happen. But we don't live in an ideal world.
Yeah. Yes, we don't. Now, leaving the topic of an ideal world and going into edutainment. This is just a very small piece. It's not really a news, but I just want to park this here because it was a very interesting read for me. And I feel like if you are like me and you're a fan of history, you're a fan of lore, you're a fan of the old world, for example, Ubisoft and edutainment is what I've coined for this piece. Basically, what this article says that Ubisoft is creating something useful for the world, for museums, for example. Because the
I've seen this before. I've seen this.
Yeah, and I just want to bring back this very interesting read because I don't want to talk a lot about it. I just want you to just click the link in the description below because to me it's interesting. Whenever you play a Ubisoft game, there is a museum mode, and I believe we talked about it on an episode before. And they are trying to scale it up in a sense where they want this to be accessible to a lot of places, including museums, for example. And if they can make like a short film out of it, where you go into the museum, you experience it, and then you'll be like, wow, shit, I'm really there. Because games like Assassin's Creed, for example, have a museum mode where these companies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars recreating ancient Egypt, Greece, Viking Age, Norway, and the Renaissance, for example, just for you to actually go into the game and not just play the game, experience the game, but actually experience and learn about history while you're playing it. Yeah.
I want to link something in the description. That is exactly this. There is a YouTube channel called Assassin's Creed Echoes of History. And they do videos like this. Historian explores ancient Alexandria and Assassin's Creed origins.
Dude, that is just gorgeous, man.
Yeah. So basically, it's just it's a video. This video is like an hour long, where this guy just travels ancient Alexandria in game. And as a historian, you're trying to teach people
Like
about
he's breaking it down.
Yeah, he's breaking it down. He's breaking down like all the POIs in ancient Alexandria using the game, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I've yet to actually play it. I might just play it in the background one day while I'm doing work. But dude, it's such a interesting way to use a video game.
Yeah. I mean, like
An Assassin's Creed of all games.
Like in this video that you're gonna link, right? It's Assassin's Creed Echoes of History, and there's 12 chapters. Introduction, start tour, the Canoptic Way, the Mausean, the Great Library, the Theatre, the Tomb of Alexander, the Hippodrome, and so much more. And it's basically just, I'm assuming, looking at the video now, is just them bringing you through different parts of Alexandria and just explaining it to you.
Now, can you imagine?
I love the idea.
Can you imagine going to a museum?
Yeah.
And then at one part about ancient Alexandria, there's like a screen and a Xbox or PS5 controller, and you play that particular map.
It's an interactive history journey.
Exactly. And then when you get to a certain POI, like the speakers in the museum will start like giving you information.
I love
That'd be really cool.
I love the idea. I definitely want to see more of this, because in the article itself, it says that Assassin's Creed actually consulted a lot of in-house and outside experts when it comes to all this history. And to me, it's like you have all this information.
Yeah.
Instead of making a game, you can also make another version of the same game.
Yeah.
But instead of like killing and fighting, it's purely education.
Yeah.
And if you have
like you are one of the
correct.
NPCs in the game.
You play as
that's
the
all.
NPC and just explore, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, someone should make a mod of that actually.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
that would be cool, and it would be cooler if you can just pop in like a VR and just experience it.
Yeah. And honestly, if Ubisoft's thinking about like the business side of things, you could have that as a mini add-on for like the full game.
Those are the DLC that I will actually buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you 12 ringgit, 15 ringgit,
Yep,
or something like that.
100%.
Satellite segment.
How
Don't need the whole
cool
thing.
would that be?
Yeah, Ubisoft.
No.
I think you should hire us as strategic consultants.
Yeah, I think you should too, man. But moving on to the last and final news that we have for you guys.
Aiyo.
This is a bit of a sad one.
This one, I'm not that sad about it, to be honest.
Oh, you are not? But
No.
I would say I feel for it mainly because I saw a couple of Bungie, of Destiny streamers on TikTok. They were like really sad.
Like
they were
dicks.
crying. Yep.
Yeah,
They were
crying.
emotional about it.
Yeah. But then
now-
again, I'm thinking it's probably because they're also making money from it. So
True.
it's like,
Oh, no, no money.
My dollars are
Yeah,
gonna
but,
dry up.
Yeah, this is a rough one. End of an era for Bungie means layoff and no Destiny 3 in sight. Long story short, Bungie is not really doing good, and all of their investment went from Destiny to the brand new all eggs in one basket Marathon.
Yeah.
Which is not really doing good as well,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not looking at a bright future for them, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a management / bureaucracy
Yes,
issue.
it is.
They don't know what they want to do. The funding is everywhere. The ideas are everywhere. Marathon was supposed to be a great game, but then because of all this controversy that they have from AI and like stealing other people's art and like really lukewarm, mediocre gameplay of what. Is it a PvE game? Is it a PvP game? Is it an extraction game? I don't know. You don't know.
Nobody
don't
knows.
know,
Nobody
right?
knows. See, if because I played Destiny, right? So I'm in the community. I'm on the Reddit. I'm on like Discords. So we get a lot of news, right? And if you were in the community during before Marathon was released and Destiny 2 was still up, people were loud, dude. People
Like
were
good loud, bad
really
loud?
loud, bad loud.
Right.
Like as in people were asking for updates. And Bungie was silent for months, or close to a year. Their usual their usual release cycle for like live service. Usually they would update maybe 3 months before and then another one month before.
Right.
But they announced a release for a DLC like 6 months ago,
Right.
and they were quiet until 2 weeks before release.
Mm.
And people were talking about how, like, I think they think Bungie was kelam kabut already. Like,
Yep.
the Marathon was coming out. They didn't want the release of the DLC to coincide with Marathon. And then people were saying how, like, Bungie is just focused on Marathon right now and leaving Destiny to rot.
Right.
And true enough, they've recently announced the end of life
Yep.
service for Destiny 2
Yep.
with no
There's no
release
updates
for
yeah,
Destiny
no
3.
updates. It's just gonna let it run their course.
Destiny's just gonna
and
die
it's just
out.
gonna
Destiny's gonna die out. And I guess it is, I'm not sad about it because I feel like it's just time for Destiny to die. But looking back I didn't play Destiny 1. I started with Destiny 2. But knowing people who have played it since Destiny 1, I think they're very emotional about it because it's a game that brought people together.
It has been around for a decade
For
now.
years, man.
And this is like telling a WoW player that, we're gonna shut all of WoW down.
Yeah.
All of the thousands of hours that you have
Correct.
invested in this beautiful MMO will
Correct.
be gone.
Like,
right?
that's your comfort game
Yep.
taken away from you.
Yep.
It's very difficult
Yeah.
to fathom.
Yeah, man. That's all the time we have
Yeah.
for you guys. Please tell us what you guys think about, Destiny, the new price hike in Steam Deck, the HoYoverse with $14
Adopting
billion
AI.
dollars in AI, and so much more other things, because I'm very interested to know what you guys actually think about it. And before we end this final segment, just the games that we've been playing, I have been playing very nicely this game. Like, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a Batman mug. That means that I've been playing a lot of Lego Batman,
Yeah.
Legacy of Dead,
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
Binging it, huh?
And I just want to say, never have I ever thought that I would fall in love with another Lego game.
Yeah. What was the last one you
there's,
played?
Lego Star Wars Skywalker
course.
Saga, I think. And it was a very linear, Lego
Is this one
game.
open world?
It's open world. I can go anywhere. And I like that it is being coined as called Arkham Light.
Yep.
And
Or instead of Arkham Knight?
yeah, right? It's Arkham Light. And it is a very, very nice journey where you unlock everything. And I just want to say that one of the biggest thing that actually got me stuck in is that I can do, because it's open world, I can do anything I want. I can unlock cars, I can unlock costumes, I can buy costumes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. You have seen the graphics.
I've seen it, bro. I've seen it.
Beautiful.
Chillax.
Beautiful.
For me, it's been Forza, man. Forza Horizon 6. Honestly, I don't know if you know this about me, but I've always been into racing games.
No.
You don't know that about me, right?
I know that about you.
You do know iRacing?
iRacing?
Yeah, iRacing.
iCarly, I know that.
That's funny. I love iCarly. Anyways, iRacing is this competitive racing platform.
Right.
People from all levels, even F1 players on their downtime, they go here and compete. Can you imagine taking downtime from competing in F1 just to compete in F1 online?
Oh shit, that is crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, I played iRacing for a while, like a long time ago.
Right.
And I've always wanted a sim rig.
Right.
I've always wanted a sim rig. And I remember, like, years ago, my dad brought home one from his friend. It didn't have force feedback, very simple wheel. And I enjoyed it, but it just didn't feel. I went back to
left is
controller
left, right is
after
right,
that.
lah.
Yeah, you turn the wheel, the car turns out.
Right.
But yeah, I've always been into sim racing.
I never knew that.
And then, but for a while, I kind of let it go, left it in the background. But recently with Forza Horizon 6, I think it's kind of bringing that back up for me.
Right.
I've been having such a great time with Forza. I've been asking everyone I know to come on it. And not just to race, everyone I know to come on it.
Yeah, guys, let's come together, guys. Let's all come together.
I'm asking everyone I know to come on it.
Yeah.
I just want to convoy with like 5 of my friends. We all drive 4x4s. And we go up mountains.
Dude, I'm sold.
and
I'm
go
like,
off-road.
stop telling me I'm sold.
Bro, if your card doesn't fucking work, just transfer me 20 ringgit.
They don't let me.
I will pay for you.
They don't let me.
Just transfer me 20 ringgit.
We go upstairs and try. Okay?
Yeah,
We
I
go
will
upstairs.
put my card details in, bro.
So that's all the time we have for you guys. We are really out of time. So please tell us everything that you have been saying what do you think about the Steam Deck, everything that we talked about on this episode.
Yeah.
I've been your video game best friend. My name is Calvin Tay.
I'm Afiq K.
And we also have Joe Murray editing this episode.
Woo!
Thank you very much. We catch you guys on the next one.
See ya. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.